This right here is a scale 118 1994 Ertl Dodge Ram 2500 V10. What a name. Quite a long name, definitely. And to get started here, this is a model I just got recently. It was previously re-released. Very, very old. It came out for a short period and then disappeared again. So at this time, not too sure if you can actually find it. It only comes in this green color, which does look really nice anyway, so I don't see any other reason to go away from it. This costs around 26 US dollars. You can translate that to any international currency that you would like. I'm not a genius, so I won't be able to translate it directly. And this is not a very good model. It is 118, and it is impressive when you first look at it, just because, you know, the old Dodge Ram, I personally like the styling quite a bit, and I do like the color scheme on it, and it's a very large vehicle. You can see there's my hand, roughly the same size as, say, the Maisto Ford F-150 or F-350. And don't get me wrong, this car does have some good characteristics to it, but it really does fall short in a lot of the details. So I'm going to get started on that now. And you might have already noticed during this video is the poor quality of this headlight. This is probably the worst headlight I've ever seen on a scale 118 car. And the reason for that is because you can't see any detail behind that. It almost looks like it's completely fogged over. And this is literally just painted. It's not even see-through plastic, it's just painted right on there. The chrome quality throughout the car is pretty bad. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but it almost looks like it's been scuffed up and it already has fingerprints on it, and I haven't even touched it, which is strange. The wheels, very poor quality. It is supposed to have little openings right in here and here and here and here and here. Nothing. It's just one chrome thing. They didn't even put it in any color to make it look real. It has the same design as the real car, you can see, kind of, especially when I do that, but just no color at all, no detail. And also, they don't fit very well on the tire. Kind of strange. Now this does feature full suspension, or sorry, it does not feature full suspension. You can see there, full steering. And it does steer pretty well. Everything does open, and you might have already noticed that this has fallen down several times. Yet another flaw of this car. The hood does open and reveals a pretty impressive engine. For a car that has, for the most part, mediocre details, the engine is absolutely incredibly well detailed. Very, very unusual. Seen here, all the pulleys are in place. A little hard to see, but it has a little peg here to hold up the hood, which is kind of useless in a way. But it is definitely impressive. Everything's there. It actually has color, and you can see down to the bottom. More continuing with the bad here. Chrome quality, again, not so great. They didn't even color in the logo up front. This is just kind of a textured metal back here, or plastic, I should say. It looks decent though. You can't go through it, but it does look okay. Now the bed size of this is incredible. You really notice how big of a truck this is. That's my hand, and it fits literally right inside the bed. In fact, I tested it out and you could fit a scale 118 Fiat 500 in it pretty well. So it's a very big car. And this is a plastic bed. It looks pretty realistic. So you have a little piece of tapes holding this on, because the only way it works is that it's just awful. Now this isn't a 4x4. You can tell it doesn't have the 4x4 logo there. Underneath, you can also see that it doesn't have a transfer case up here, and pretty much throughout the car, pretty good. Definitely tell this is a truck chassis just by you can actually see the chassis itself. Very beefy muffler there. It is all black, which is extremely common with these budget cars. This was, after all, $25. Pretty good steering. Not that bad. Now, these look flimsy, but they're actually not. They're actually really, really sturdy. Surprising. Let's go to the inside now. Inside, I don't know. You can see for yourself. Not much color in there. Yeah, the detail is there. All the buttons are in the right place. I mean, you do have the detail, it's just not colored. They did focus a lot on the gauge pack, though, because that does look pretty good. All separated. Another thing that they focused on well was the seats. Really nice texture. Not too bad, not too great. I would definitely like to see a little more color in there. These doors I also foresee to get very, very weak soon. So I'm going to take the camera off the tripod for the next part, and this is just to show you the difference in, or the poor, very, very poor quality of the paint. And maybe you won't be able to see it as well as I do. After all, you're looking through a camera and I have eyes. But with the with this back here, it's like they didn't even polish it. Whereas up front, right here, it looks a lot better, a lot more polished. And you see this throughout the car, so it varies from panel to panel. It's like they tried to piece them together. And if you notice really carefully on this front door, it's actually a slightly lighter green than the rest of the car. It literally looks like it was in a crash, and they just kind of put this thing together. Really, really poor quality paint job throughout the car. Now there's that SLT logo there, and it is a V10. This has the V10, the same one that's in the Viper. And finally, some pretty good tires there. Look like all-terrain tires. So as you can probably tell by my commentary, I'm not too impressed with this model. It's pretty poor quality, although it is rather sturdy. I mean, it's tough. It's reasonably well made. They just didn't put enough effort into creating the details and working out some of the issues, like the wheels that don't stay on the tire and stuff like that. So really, it's all up to you whether you would buy it yourself. Based on what I've said, I really can't recommend it just because of its poor quality. But it is one of the very, very few Dodge Rams out there from this era. This personally is my favorite looking Dodge Ram, and that's why I got it. But if you're looking for a real quality model, it's definitely not where you're going to find it. Okay, so if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below, and I'll be sure to answer them. Thanks for watching.